Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tabs. If you're new here, well, welcome. So today I want to talk about ISO, shutter speed and aperture. One of the challenges I've faced while offering my live streaming services or videography services is having people who do not know the three, and you end up shooting something and it does not make it past edit because you shot at the wrong ISO, shot at the wrong shutter speed. So I thought about it and I was like, you know what, I will share knowledge about what I understand, what I know they are, and do not come gun blazing at me because this is knowledge that I'm sharing the way I know, all right? So, starting it off, let's start with ISO. So what is ISO? ISO is literally sensitivity to light, but how I look at it, it is like borrowed stuff. It is artificial lighting. You can basically, this is not, it is lighting that is, how do I say it? It's not like lighting that is, around you. It is borrowed stuff. So what it does is, the more you add it, the more grain you have. So and this is the worst analogy maybe, but the thing is what, when you're dealing with stuff that is, that is not in plenty or it's not for you, you see the way we borrow salt, and then because you've been given salt and you somehow end up taking salt and putting all of it, and now you have food that has too much salt. Okay, so now in this situation, ISO for me works like that. It is like borrowing light from the camera and it adds grains to your film. The thing is what, you can add grains when you want to achieve a certain film look, but if really which I would always advise, do it on edit as opposed to on fill. But the thing is what, I would insist on, if you're shooting at ISO, always work with the lowest you can go, unless otherwise stated so. Shutter speed is, it's like a curtain. So I'm looking for a best analogy. It's like a curtain. So it's like the way you open it like this, the time between opening and closing, how much light enters, So if you open it for too long, a lot of light enters. If you open it very fast, little light enters. Makes sense? So that is how shutter speed works. And what shutter speed affects is, one of the things that affects is motion. So if, for example, and also if you're shooting at the standard shooting rate, say you're shooting at 25 frames per second, it is standard that you do a double shutter speed. If you're shooting in slow-mo for like 200, it is standard that you do like 400 shutter speed, because it will affect your motion basically. Because the lower the shutter, the more the blurry effect you'll get. A better analogy is, you've seen pictures online where, say for example, someone is standing and then they take light and draw an image for light, but someone is in focus. That is affected by shutter speed. So if you go say 1/4, you're looking at a very, very blurry image. If you do a higher shutter speed, like 1/200, that is a very, everything would be, your motion rather would be in focus. I would suggest, if you're shooting say no more 25 frames per second, but then whatever you're having is in motion, you might want to boost your shutter speed a bit up, go past whatever it is standard. That would give you a better image as opposed to just having there, because it affects the motion. Finally, aperture. So aperture is a very interesting, I love it because most of the times it will not mess you up. But here's what happens. So aperture, if it's like a window, okay? The bigger the window, the more the light. The smaller the window, the less the light. So if you you open the window, and the numbers work in reverse. So if you open the window to around 1.4, which is, you've opened it to 1.4, that's a lot of lighting coming in. But what it also affects is the depth of an image. So that means at 1.4 you'll have focus on possibly one object as opposed to a wide area. Get it? And if you look at if you close it to say 5.6, you'd have less light, but your image that is in focus is quite huge. That is how aperture works. And a good analogy is when you're shooting a product, say a Ribena can. I recently shot a fake ad for Ribena. I'll be sharing with you guys very soon. And if you want to focus on the words, you might want to go to a very high aperture as opposed to a very, very low aperture. I hope you understand the three. And when you're able to work with aperture, ISO, and shutter speed together, you get a very good image. Where you have dark spaces, well, it is always good to carry extra light. It will always come through. But if you have any question, there's a video I'm about. I'll attach a video that has my camera settings, and I want you guys to tell me what do you think is wrong with the settings that I've put for, in terms of not everything else. I just want you to look at the shutter speed, the ISO, and f-stop. So tell me f-stop, which is aperture. Let me know what do you think I've set wrong in that image. So let's have this conversation going. If you have a question, I will do my best to answer it in the best analogy ever. And then yeah, I hope to educate someone out there and we don't have the same problems on all the sets. Thank you guys. See ya on the next one. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel.